Hello everybody, welcome back to Mumcott Ranch and Homestead. Today we're in the pig's garden and I'm super excited to show you what has been growing in here. So as I had mentioned before in a previous video, last fall we had a few pigs in this pig area here. Right now we just have Oswald and he's over here eating, and at the end of the vegetable garden year, we had an abundance of vegetables, mainly squashes, zucchinis, things like that, that we had more than enough of, so we decided to give some to our pigs. Well, what had happened in the springtime, summertime, is I started noticing a ton of vegetables growing up in here, mainly tomatoes. You guys, I am not exaggerating when I say we probably have well over 100 tomatoes in this pig area. And Oswald, our pig, hasn't even touched them. He did knock a few over here and there, but as far as eating the actual plants, along with the squash and pumpkin plants, he has not touched. So let's go ahead, let's walk around the pig garden and let me show you what's been going on. Alright guys, first things first, this is right next to our gate area. Look at the amount of tomato plants. These are all tomato plants. Tons and tons and tons. As you can see, some are starting to flower. I have not seen many actual tomatoes starting yet. We also do have in here what I think is going to be a pumpkin plant. So here is one of many of the batches of tomatoes that we have here. So let's go ahead and move along. So again, I'm not quite sure if these will amount to anything, but you'll see that we have a ton of small tomatoes. You'll see that they are all over the place, you guys. Insane. We have another one here. This one is actually going to start to flower. Tons and tons and tons of tomatoes. We have a bunch in here as well. Again, these are starting. Oh, look, a little itty bitty one. That's cute. And then we also have something here, which I believe is a pumpkin, just by looking here. So that'll be exciting. Oh look, this tomato plant does have some tomatoes growing on it. Again, more tomatoes. Look at over here. Another tomato plant that has a small tomato on it. I don't know if when these tomatoes end up ripening, you'll see here, that's one that he did knock over. I'm not quite sure if when these tomatoes start to ripen, if he will end up eating them, but right now, he is not. And it'd be pretty exciting if he doesn't. Let's go over to another area that we have quite a few tomato plants. Oswald enjoying his food. Hi, honey. All right. So these are one of our bigger ones. But as you can see, it's not doing so hot. He did come in and ruffle this area up, but you guys can see, look at, we have a ton of little tomatoes coming up in here. You see those down there? So what I believe these are, like this one and this one. These ones are my cherry tomatoes that I had also given them last year. Here, it's going to be a Roma. Here's a Roma tomato. Another couple Romas here. But yeah, you guys, more tomatoes. Insane amount of tomatoes. Here's another one. I think this is also a Roma. We have more tomatoes over here. I'm not seeing anything. Here's some more. Looks like those are also Romas. Just crazy. Oh, there's a little guy that actually has quite a bit on there. This is a nice plant as well. This one also looks like Aroma. We also have another pretty decent sized batch of tomatoes over here. Here's another pretty big one. The tomatoes that we had last year are cherry tomatoes. We had Roma tomatoes, and then we also had a Jetstar tomato. So here, more tomato plants. These are all tomato plants. Look at all of these. Tons of flowers, tons of small tomatoes coming up. Crazy, right? So can you guys believe that? I kid you not when I say that there are at least 100 tomatoes that might be shooting under what we have. Tons. One thing that I am super excited about that I wanted to, oh, you know what? There was one other plant that I wanted to show you guys. Look at this one. That is looking like, you know what? It's interesting because look at how light green that is with the stripe. It almost looks like a start of like a pumpkin. And I could show you one that is actually looking like this. But I believe this is probably a squash, or excuse me, a zucchini. But we'll see what this ends up turning out to be. Okay, so back at it. Let me go ahead and show you something that I'm super excited about. Here's another. Every time you walk around, you find new stuff that are coming out. It's absolutely crazy. Look at this one. Here's another one. This one hasn't done too much, so I'm not 100% what this one's going to be. But you guys, look. Here's our other gate. And look, most of this is weed, so let's try to ignore that. But look, more tomato plants. More tomatoes. We even have some coming in. Those must be my cherry tomatoes. But what I'm really excited about is what's in here. You can hopefully see my shadow. What's in this area here. I cannot wait to show you. So we are actually going to step out of our pig pen. Because as you can see, this pumpkin is starting to come over here. And look at that pumpkin that's coming. Isn't that crazy? And one other thing that I'm noticing, I think this may be a second pumpkin plant that I'm just actually starting to notice. I'm not really quite sure how far it goes up, but look at it. It's like way above up here. You can see how it's starting to go, and it's starting to come down here. It'll be interesting to see what this one is as well, but I'm pretty sure it's a pumpkin. But yeah, look at, we got bees over there. So yeah, you guys, the pig garden is doing awesome. I'm actually very excited because we have a tomato area out in our real garden, our real vegetable garden. And we do have, I think we're down to 6 tomato plants, which isn't bad. It'll be really good for us. But it was interesting to see that this one is doing so much better than my other one. Amazing amount of tomatoes. I'm super excited. Like I said, I hope that they do well. I hope that when they do start to ripen, Oswald doesn't get them before we do, because it would be so interesting to harvest vegetables out of that garden. Guys, thank you so much for coming along with me today, getting an update on how the garden is doing in the pig pasture. Looking forward to seeing you guys again, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.